Luke Reimer back at it again with Flurry Sports. We're giving you a week 2 NFL Survivor Pool pick. My 3 picks for the week. Um, so what we do here is I give you 3 picks a week. We're going to do a high risk, high reward, a value pick, and then my ultimate lock of the week, the one that you are going to take, the one that I'm going to take, the one that we are going to take to keep you alive in your Survivor Pool. So let's get right into it. The very first one we will cover here is my high risk, high reward pick. So, high risk, high reward. It's as easy as it sounds, right? You're taking a team that's not very good by NFL standards, a team who doesn't really have a shot at winning a Super Bowl, a team who probably didn't even really have a shot at the playoffs. Um, they're going up against they have a good matchup this week. Now, as the name states, high risk, high reward. This team is one that you are probably not going to take the rest of the year. You're not even going to think about taking. But this week they have that pick that could be the one to really benefit you in the long run, where you don't have to worry about blowing the Ravens against the Browns this week. So starting off with my high risk, high reward pick, I'm taking the New England Patriots over the Miami Dolphins. Everybody saw last week how the Miami Dolphins looked against the Indianapolis Colts, against Daniel Jones led offense. Now, Daniel Jones is not the greatest quarterback by any means, but against the Miami Dolphins, that Indianapolis Colts offense looked like the second coming of that Rams team that won a Super Bowl a couple of years ago. It looked like the Chiefs team, that we're in the midst of a dynasty of. But taking the New England Patriots here, I think they're in for a good spot. Um, Drake May is still developing, right? Luckily for him, he gets to go up against the Miami Dolphins defense that looked absolutely lost last week. Right, they gave up 33 points to the Indianapolis Colts. Um, for whatever it's worth, Drake May is probably a better quarterback right now than Daniel Jones. So Daniel Jones can rush for two and lead a team to victory. Um, that I would very much think that Drake May is right behind him and can also do the same thing. As for the Dolphins on offense, I mean, Tua Tagovailoa looked like the worst quarterback of all time last year. He's throwing interceptions, he's fumbling the ball. That offensive line did nothing to help him. You have to imagine that Mike Vrabel, with all his defensive mastermind, is thinking of schemes to really get after Tua, and that's really what you need to do to beat the Dolphins, right? If Tua can sit back, he can find open guys, but with that pass rush, if that pass rush can get there, it's going to be a long day for Dolphins fans. And to be honest, this is going to be a long season for Dolphins fans. Tyreek Hill does not look like the Tyreek Hill that we saw in Kansas City. The really only saving grace is Devon Achane. But as we've seen the Patriots do, that Vrabel, I'm sure he's learned from Belichick, is you take away their best option and you make someone else beat them. If Achane gets taken away in this game, who really beats you on this Dolphins team? Right? You probably get a Christian Gonzalez Tyreek Hill matchup. So Tyreek Hill is probably somewhat neutralized. That means you're relying on Jalen Waddle, which I'll take my chances 10 times out of 10 the other way. Yeah, give me the Patriots in this one. Again, it's high risk, high reward, right? The Patriots still are not that great of a team, but this could be a week that you take them, they win, and you get to save, the Baltimore Ravens of the world. You get to save the Buffalo Bills of the world. You get to save those good teams, while you reap the benefit of the Patriots coming in and taking down the Miami Dolphins. Next pick is my value pick of the week. So value pick is a team that's a little bit better than those high risk, high reward teams, right? They're kind of a middle of the pack team that has a really good matchup this week where if you take them, you can feel comfortable about it. You don't have to think about it. Probably not many other people are going to take them just because they're a little iffy. You don't necessarily know how the team kind of feels right now. But after what we saw last week, I think my value pick of the week is going to be the Arizona Cardinals against the Carolina Panthers. Now, I'm not the biggest Arizona Cardinals fan, but what I think this pick works in your favor for is how bad the Panthers looked last week. They let a bad Jacksonville Jaguars team beat them. They let them run all over them. We know that Arizona wants to run the ball. We know that Arizona can run the ball. That offensive line, say what you want about Kyler Murray. This offensive line is meant for running the ball. Arizona has two solid running backs, right? James Conner is going to be that workhorse guy, but given his age, Trey Benson is going to come in and spell him when given time. And look what we saw when that happened last week. I mean, Trey Benson broke off a 40-plus yard run. Um, the Panthers Defense, not horrible, but again, this Cardinals team, they're built to run the football, whether that be, with the running back. Once those running backs get going, then we get what we want to see out of Kyler Murray. We want to see him get to the edge. We want to see him, hit those quarterback runs. That's only going to get set up with the run, which is great with James Conner. And under the fact that it looks like Marvin Harrison is starting to get a little bit more integrated to this offense. It seems like he feels a little bit more comfortable. He scored last week. And the Cardinals all of a sudden had a little bit of a passing game after what we saw against New Orleans Saints last week. Now the Cardinals don't, they have a middle of the pack defense, but again, the Carolina Panthers. What scares you on that offense? Chuba Hubbard's fine, but a lot of his work feels like it comes in garbage time and stats that don't really matter. Um, Ted McMillan still looks like he needs to, get his feet wet in the NFL. He's not really ready to be fully broken out yet. And then other than that, I mean, there's just really nothing else in this Panthers offense. Bryce Young did not look great. I know he looked good to end the year last year, but coming into this game, it kind of looked like he reverted back to that rookie year where he got benched for Andy Dalton. Now, I'm not saying he's going to get benched this season, but I think Bryce Young still has a lot to go in the NFL before we can really trust him as a guy who can take down teams by himself, like we see with good quarterbacks. So while the Cardinals are not the best team in the NFL, this definitely is a great value pick against the Panthers, who are kind of on that right upward trajectory. Right, they just are not there yet. It feels like they need a couple more pieces. Feels like they need some more time to develop yet. I think the Panthers are still one of the worst teams in the NFL. And the Cardinals should start 2-0, which may shock a lot of people. But to me, this is a great value pick. This is the definition of a value pick. Cardinals team who you don't really know. They're not great. They're not horrible. It's a perfect team for this category. And then finally, I'm giving you my lock of the week. My lock of the week is a pick that I'm taking. It's a pick that you're taking. It's a pick that we're taking to stay alive in this survivor pool. So, looking at the schedule here, there are some games that jump out to you, right? Their very first one here is the Baltimore Ravens, since Cleveland Browns. Now, what's interesting about this game is it's very obvious, right, that Baltimore probably wins this game with chip on their shoulder kind of game. But I don't necessarily know that we want to waste the Ravens right away here. Not that they're going to waste them. I mean, anytime you can use them, it's good. But we would like to save the Ravens. They're one of those better teams. We'll save them for down the road when we actually have to get a win. I like the Bengals over the Jaguars. We took the Bengals last week, so we are not going to take that. So that leads me to my lock of the week being the San Francisco 49ers at the New Orleans Saints. Now, the New Orleans Saints hung with the Cardinals a little bit, but as I stated before, the Cardinals aren't one of those great, elite teams. They're not, one of those horrible teams. They're actually probably slotted in as a value pick of the week a lot this year, given that their matchup plays well with that. San Francisco 49ers are certainly better than them. I know George Kittle went down. I know that they have, Brandon Ayuk is out. They don't have Deebo Samuel anymore. Christian McCaffrey's still around. Like, this offensive line is still fine. This defense is still good. Spencer Rattler starting at quarterback for the Saints does not scare me in the slightest. Brock Purdy, whatever you want to say about him, he's a good quarterback.
Hey, what's up? Zach Bruner, editor here. Just to clear some things up, Brock Purdy most likely not playing this week. Sounds like he's going to be out multiple weeks. However, that does not change our lock of the week for the survivor pool here. Mac Jones is more than capable of leading this offense against the New Orleans Saints. So whatever Luke is about to say, just plug in Mac Jones. We are okay to go here. Okay, enjoy the rest of the video.
San Francisco should not have a problem. They should be able to run the ball well here. This really feels like a good Christian McCaffrey game. I know that he's coming up with a calf injury to start the year, but after watching last week, he looked fine. This feels like just give the ball to Christian McCaffrey and let the better team win here. So San Francisco, just on paper, right, is just a better team than the New Orleans Saints. And San Francisco is kind of one of those weird teams where, what really are they? Are you really that confident in them? This feels like the perfect time to get them out of the way so you stay alive in your survivor pool pick. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. That's exactly what you're going to do. We're taking the San Francisco 49ers. We're going to make it to week 3. We'll recalibrate week 3. I'll see you guys next week, week 3. San Francisco 49ers, book it. If you have any other ideas, if you think that I'm off base, if you think that you have a better idea, leave it in the comments. I'd love to hear where we're at, because this is always the toughest part of survivor pools, is the first 1, 2, 3 weeks, because we really don't have a great idea of what all the teams are. Right? We know that the Ravens are good. We know that the Bills are good. We know that the Eagles are good. We know that the Panthers are bad. We know that the Saints are bad. We know that the Titans probably aren't the greatest team. Um, so this is really where, if you can make it past these first 3 weeks, I think you're doing well. You're probably doing a lot better than I would say more than half of your pools. So stay alive this week with the San Francisco 49ers, and I will see you guys next week for another Survivor Pool Pick video. Thanks. Peace.
Fuck yeah!